Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, or welcome back to my podcast if you are listening to this episode in the audio only version. Today we're going to be talking about the new moon in Cancer taking place between the 9th and the 10th of July. It depends where exactly in the world you are located. So if I'm looking at exact timings, I'm obviously in the Western Hemisphere. I'm actually recording this video from holiday, from vacation, from Cyprus, and the new moon is taking place at 1:16 in the morning on the 10th of July GMT time. So you can adjust the timing for you. Now, before we start talking about the astrology of the new moon, obviously we're going to be looking at the aspects of the day. We are also going to be going into updates for each zodiac sign. I have a few things that I would like to mention from the very beginning. First and foremost, I am a Western tropical astrologer. Therefore, all episodes, all videos on my channel and also on my podcast are going to be following Western tropical astrology. Secondly, I know you're curious, so I have to share this with you. I use the whole sign house system in my practice. Thirdly, if you want to work with me, if you want to book a consultation or a reading with me, then you can find me on my website, which is written in the stars-astrology.com. So again, written in the stars-astrology.com. If you go into the services section, you're going to see that there are a few different types of services that you can go for. There's actually two main types of services that you can purchase from my website. The live Zoom consultation, where we get together via Zoom, via video call, and we talk through your questions, through your natal chart, through your year ahead. And the session is recorded, and at the end of our session, I send you the recording so you can also re-listen to it. Or if you do not want to catch up live over video call, there is also the audio only option. The natal chart reading is audio only. The yearly forecast is audio only. The career and education reading is audio only. And you can send me your questions. You can send me any sort of major topics of interest beforehand. And I record the reading as if it were your own personal forecast and podcast. And I send it to you via email so you can listen to it whenever the time is right for you. So let us look into the astrology of this new moon that I know this video is coming late, better late than never, as they say. It's an event, it's a celestial event that we are all pretty much looking forward to, especially in the astrological world, because the first few days of July have been on fire, and not necessarily in a good way. We've had a T-square in the sky between Mars, Saturn, and Uranus. Literally, there have been fires in many places over the world, even here in Cyprus, where I'm at right now. There's been wildfires, I think, on Saturday and Sunday. They said that they experienced the worst wildfire in the history of Cyprus. There's wildfires in Canada. I'm not sure right now what the situation looks like as well. Mars, fire, Uranus, sudden, abrupt sets of circumstances leading to things escalating very quickly. Sometimes astrology plays out in a very literal way. I've actually had people, I've had a friend message me say that she was hit, she had kind of like her leg crushed throughout this transit. Another colleague of hers fell and hit herself. So I bet we can all look forward to this new moon in Cancer, because the aspects are really nice, they're sweet, they're smooth, and it does feel like a breath of fresh air or a breath of fresh water. Obviously, because the new moon is happening in a water sign. So as I've mentioned beforehand, the new moon is happening on the 10th of July 2021 at 1:16 GMT, 1:16 in the morning. So if you are based in the US, this is probably happening on the 9th of July. I always recommend, as you know already, I always recommend looking at the 3 days before, 3 days after the new moon as well, to give it a little bit of time for the effects to be felt and for you to kind of like take in the energy of the aspects of the new moon. New moons are connected with new beginnings generally. It's the kickoff of a new cycle, and life is filled with new beginnings and closures all the time. Some new beginnings are big, splashy events, memorable for everyone. Some new beginnings, not so much, but that doesn't mean that their, let's say, symbolism is diluted. So we tend to associate new beginnings with kind of like these massive events in the 3D external reality, but sometimes a new beginning is happening on the internal level, and it is equally, if not even more important. Now, because the new moon is in Cancer, Cancer is a water sign. Water signs are associated with our feelings and our emotional nature. You are very likely, most of you, to feel this energy of the new beginning, first and foremost, on an internal level. So if nothing massive happens in your life, don't go out there saying, oh no, I'm not affected by astrology, I don't follow astrology, nothing's happening for me. Look inwards first and foremost. As within, so without. So this new moon is happening at 18 degrees of Cancer. You are going to feel it the most if you've got personal planets in cardinal signs. I would say between 12 degrees and 24 degrees of cardinal signs. The cardinal signs are obviously Cancer, Capricorn, Aries. Did I miss anyone? No, I didn't. Better safe than sorry. And Libra, yes, so I did miss someone. So if you've got planets in your chart or angles, the ascendant, the midheaven, the descendant, and the IC, between 12 degrees and 24 degrees of cardinal signs, you are likely to feel the energy of the new moon the most. This new moon is very nicely aspected, as I've mentioned before. That's why I'm so excited about it. It is in a harmonious aspect to Uranus, planet of surprises. Boy, do we need some pleasant surprises at this moment in time. And also in a harmonious aspect to Neptune in Pisces. So there is this sort of healing, soothing energy that we are experiencing at a collective level. Speaking of the collective level, we are likely to hear news and experience, let's say, this collective feeling of new beginning, especially when it comes to our home life, our family life, our living environment, our roots, our heritage, and our state of emotional security. And we are probably feeling like we have reached collectively a state where we know where we stand from an emotional security perspective. And I cannot help but think of the obvious kind of global events that we have been going through this year and last year. This new moon can literally feel like a breakthrough moment. It's like, okay, emotionally I'm feeling much calmer, much safer, much more secure than I have felt in a very, very long time. And I'm obviously speaking for the collective here. So now let us go into the updates for each zodiac sign. If you're here for the very first time, let me be your internet mom and remind you that I generally recommend that you listen to the update for your rising sign first. How can you find out your rising sign? Find out your time of birth from your parents, from your birth certificate, and you can literally go on Google and Google natal chart generator, online natal chart generator, and that's where you put in your date, time, place of birth, and it gives you the sign of your rising or the ascendant. They're used many times synonymously. The ascendant is the exact degree of your rising sign. If you don't know your rising sign, then you can listen to your sun sign update, which is based on your date of birth. But I recommend rising first and foremost. So let us dive into the updates for each zodiac sign. My dear Aries, between the 9th and the 10th of July, give or take 3 days before, 3 days after, the new moon is happening in your 4th house of home, family, roots, living situation. It is sextiling Uranus and Taurus in your second house of income and self-worth, and it is trining Neptune and Pisces in your 12th house. Okay, so this is the energy of a beautiful and soothing and healing new beginning in the family. Some of you Aries might be thinking of purchasing a home, or might realize actually I can now afford to buy a home because we've got that beautiful sextile to Uranus in the second house. Some Aries may decide to start renovating their home in the course of the next 6 months. Some Aries may feel very proud of what they have accomplished and of where they're at in terms of their home, family, and living situation. There can be some unexpected news connected to healing when it comes to your home and family life. Maybe there is some sort of relationship that is healing with a parent, especially on an emotional level. You may feel like you've got a breakthrough emotionally connected with your home and family life, and also connected with the relationship with a parent. And last but not least, you may also decide to splurge on the home quite suddenly, quite unexpectedly. Why? Because you realize once again that you can afford it. It's a great time for manifesting a new beginning also, and for setting intentions connected to the area of home and family life. What do you want the ideal home and family life to look like for you, Aries? Now, if you are a Taurus sun or a Taurus rising, 9th, 10th of July, you've got a new moon in Cancer in your third house of communication and learning. I would also look at the 3 days before, 3 days after. It is a fantastic time to manifest and to set intentions connected with your skills and your skill set and your level of knowledge. It's a great time to embark upon a new course of learning. It is a great time to have a think about how you can develop yourself by accumulating practical, logical knowledge, and by embarking upon an educational journey. It's a great time for education and for starting something fresh educationally. I would recommend, if you do so, that you step into some sort of, let's call it, classroom situation. Why? Because this new moon is trining Neptune and Pisces in your 11th house of groups of people that you belong to. You may also feel like you have some sort of communicational breakthrough with your friends, or you may feel very, let's say, proud and very privileged to be surrounded by the friends that you are surrounded by in your life. You may also have some sort of revelation in terms of your communication and communication style, and decide to approach this from a different angle, from a different perspective, especially when it comes to siblings or friends. Now, if you are a Gemini sun or a Gemini rising, 9th, 10th of July, the new moon in Cancer is happening in your second house of income. Geminis, you out of all people, I do have a very specific recommendation for you. Set the intentions and the goals for the next 6 months for you when it comes to your financial well-being. It is a great time for you to set financial objectives. It is a great time for you to have a think about how you can further monetize your existing skill set and talents. It is also a fantastic time to apply for a new job. It is a great time to promote yourself, to put yourself out into the spotlight. If you have interviews, if you're looking for a job, I know there's people out there looking for a job. It's a great time to go out there and sell yourself. It is also a fantastic time to learn how to promote yourself better, how to sell yourself better. People might be thinking, oh, I don't want to sell myself. I'm like, we are always selling something of ourselves. A skill, an idea, a concept, a perspective, and our talents. It is a great time to also think about how you can develop a talent further, my dear Geminis, so that you can monetize it in the long run. This new moon in Cancer is sextiling Uranus and Taurus in your 12th house, so you may realize very suddenly, maybe through a dream, maybe through an insight, maybe through a glimpse, maybe through a deja vu, that you've got this sort of untapped potential within you and this untapped talent within you. It is also a fantastic time to start thinking about how you can value yourself better, Geminis. Some of you might be getting a new job, some of you might be getting a raise. These are all aspects connected to the external reality. It's not mandatory. It can simply be a period of a sudden realization of, you know what, I am super valuable. It is time I ask the world to value myself accordingly, to value me accordingly. If you are a Cancer sun or a Cancer rising, the new moon between the 9th and the 10th, but also 3 days before, 3 days after, is happening in your first house of identity, of the physical body. It is sextiling Uranus and Taurus in the 11th house, and it is trining Neptune and Pisces in the 9th house of higher education and long distance travel. So Cancerians, what's happening at this time is you are going through some sort of rebirth. You are realizing how much you've grown, how much you've evolved, and also how much more you have to evolve in the future. It's almost as if you are starting to, let's say, appreciate yourself more for your way of thinking, for your belief system, for your way of looking at the world. It is a fantastic time to start thinking about how you might want to adjust and how you might want to tweak your personal brand, your image out into the world. It is a fantastic time to think about your image. Think about the impression that you make upon people. Think about what you are trying to convey in terms of message to the world. It is also a moment in time, a period in time, when you may have some sort of revelation in regards to who your people are, who your tribe is, who you want to belong to. And you may also feel very confident. It's a moment of intense confidence, this new moon. You may feel very confident in fulfilling one of your long-term goals and plans, because this new moon is sextiling Uranus in your 11th house of long-term plans. It can also be a time when you realize that by presenting yourself in a certain way, by putting yourself out there in a certain way, you attract the right collaborators in your life who can help you make your dreams happen, Cancerians. If you are a Leo sun or a Leo rising, on the 9th, 10th of July, the new moon in Cancer is happening in your 12th house, sextiling Uranus and Taurus in your 10th house of career, and trining Neptune and Pisces in your 8th house of psychological transformation. Leos, 3 days before, 3 days after this new moon, I strongly recommend that you rest. I strongly recommend that you slow down. I also strongly recommend that you face one of your fears, especially one of the fears connected with intimacy, because this new moon is trining Neptune and Pisces in your 8th house of intimacy, and also one of your fears connected with control in the work environment and in your professional path. And this is a beautiful, beautiful moment of, I would say, sudden realization of the fact that sometimes doing nothing, 12th house, 12th house is the house of surrendering. Sometimes doing nothing results in the absolute best outcome possible. So this new moon for you, my dear Leos, is an invite to slow down, take your foot off the pedal, and see the chips falling as they may in your life in a very pleasant way, especially connected to intimacy, but also connected with something that may have been on your mind a great deal regarding your professional path. It's also a great time to connect with your higher self through meditation, to start off a new spiritual routine, to embark upon a quest for self-awareness and for understanding your blind spots, my dear Leos. If you are a Virgo sun or Virgo rising, 9th, 10th of July, the new moon in Cancer is happening in your 11th house, sextiling Uranus and Taurus in the 9th house and trining Neptune and Pisces in the 7th house. Okay, Virgos, 3 days before, 3 days after this new moon, it looks like you are about to embark upon a 6 months long journey until the full moon in January 2022 of making one of your long-term plans happen, of maybe setting for yourself new goals, new objectives for the future. You are feeling very confident that you can fulfill these long-term goals and plans because you've got the support of a very loyal partner. This new moon is trining Neptune and Pisces in the 7th house. It may also feel like you're finally aligned in terms of future plans with a long-term partner. It could be a life partner, it could be a business partner. It also looks like at this time you are getting some sort of surprising, sudden, positive update, maybe from a legal environment or from some sort of foreign actor, maybe from a foreign country or something from the judicial system. You are getting an update that allows you to step in the direction of one of your long-term plans And it may not have been necessarily something that you thought would come at this moment in time, hence why you are very pleasantly surprised at the support that you are receiving from the universe in making this long-term objective happen. Now, Libra suns and Libra risings, on the 9th, 10th of July, give or take 3 days before, 3 days after, you have a new moon in your 10th house of career, sextiling Uranus and Taurus in the 8th house, and trining Neptune and Pisces in the 6th house. Okay, Libras, a lot of you are going to be receiving a new job offer at this time. A lot of you might be receiving some sort of, let's say, promotion at this time, or might be thinking, you know what, it is time for me to look into the horizon for new opportunities. I know some of you are looking for jobs, and some of you may not be employed as we speak. This is your time, Libra, to put yourselves out there. Nothing happens in life or in astrology without us buying into it, without us actually taking action towards it. It could be a time of pleasant surprises, unexpected surprises in terms of job offers. It could be a time when you feel like you found the job of your dreams. It could also feel like a time when you step into a new position, I would say, out into the world in terms of status and reputation. It's almost as if something massive has happened in your life or is about to happen in your life that changes your status and reputation. So it could be something like becoming a parent, for instance, or it could be something like deciding to get engaged. Now, if you are a Scorpio sun or a Scorpio rising, 9th, 10th of July, 3 days before, 3 days after, new moon in Cancer in your 9th house of the higher mind and long distance travel. This one is sextiling Uranus and Taurus in your 7th house, and trining Neptune and Pisces in your 5th house of fun, love, entertainment. Scorpios, this is your time to make plans to travel. It is your time to also make plans and take action in the direction of furthering your education. It is a fantastic time to embark upon a new educational journey. It is a fantastic time to make plans to travel long distance, so foreign lands and foreign countries. It is also a fantastic time to employ the help and the support of a partner in this endeavor, because this new moon is sextiling Uranus in your 7th house of partnerships. This could also be a time when you enter into some sort of legally binding contract with a partner, and it is something that you're very excited about. It's not something that you're wary about. It's not something that you're afraid of. On the absolute contrary, it could also be a time when there is some sort of mentor coming into your life, and you may also hear news connected to higher education. I gotta tell you, positive news connected to higher education. I love, 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 love this new moon. Plus, this one is trining Neptune and Pisces in your 5th house. Whatever news you're getting, or whatever you're deciding to do in terms of your educational path, it's almost as if you are giving yourself permission to enjoy life more in a way, and realizing that there can be a balance between work and furthering your goals and also enjoyment of life. If you are a Sagittarius sun or a Sagittarius rising between the 9th and the 10th of July, 3 days before, 3 days after, this new moon in Cancer is happening in your 8th house of other people's resources, sextiling Uranus and Taurus in the 6th house, and trining Neptune and Pisces in your 4th house of hope. So what's going on here, Sagittarians, is you are receiving some sort of news connected with a loan, connected with an investment, connected with maybe your partner's resources. So this new one in the 8th house can bring an increase in resources, either from your end in terms of passive income, so I'm thinking here of investments, either from the side of your partner, and you are kind of both coming together and saying, oh, this is nice, now we've got much more money and resources available to spend and make plans, especially plans connected with your home and living environment. Some of you might be receiving a mortgage to put towards the home. This new moon is trining Neptune in your 4th house of home. Some of you might be receiving maybe some sort of bonus from work, because this new moon is sextiling Uranus in your 6th house of day-to-day work. It's a lump sum of money. It could be a gift. It's something that gives you peace of mind. It can also be a time when you have some sort of breakthrough and you enter a new stage of intimacy with a partner, where you feel like all the work that you've been putting towards creating a stronger bond with your partner, if you are in a relationship, is starting to pay off. If you are a Capricorn sun or a Capricorn rising, 9th, 10th of July, the new moon in Cancer is happening in your 7th house. I would also look at 3 days before, 3 days after, in your house of partnerships and marriage. This is sextiling Uranus and Taurus in the 5th house and trining Neptune and Pisces in the 3rd house of communication. Capricorns. Some of you might be hearing news of a baby. Some of you might be, if you're single, some of you might be meeting someone. It is a great time to go out there into the world. It is a great time to go out on dates. It is a great time to have fun, to enjoy yourselves with a partner. It's a time when you feel like you have entered into a new stage of commitment with a partner in your life. If you're single, as I said, what are you waiting for? Go out there. If you don't want to be in a relationship, which I know there's people who just prefer to be by themselves, it can be a fantastic time when you find some sort of, let's say, collaborator in your life. It's a great time to sell something. So if you're selling something, you can find a new client or a new set of clients, or you can find someone in your life like a consultant who can help you learn more about a specific topic that you're very passionate about. Great time for fun with a partner also, so not on your own. Now, if you are an Aquarius sun or an Aquarius rising, between the 9th and the 10th of July, the new moon in Cancer is happening in your 6th house of day-to-day work, sextiling Uranus and Taurus in your 4th house of home, and trining Neptune and Pisces in your 2nd house. Okay, Aquarians, this is a beautiful new beginning for you in terms of your daily habits and routines and day-to-day work. Some Aquarians could be getting the offer of a new job, something that is better paid. Some Aquarians who might be working for themselves could be scoring some sort of new client or new collaboration opportunity that seems to be very lucrative and allows them to spend more time at home and also allows them to achieve a better work-life balance. It is a fantastic time, Aquarians, to start thinking about how you can strategically plan your days in such a way that you've also got time to spend with the family and you've also got more time for yourself. It's a great time to initiate some sort of a new health-related habit, something healthy, obviously, maybe drink more water. You might think that I'm kidding, but especially for Aquarius risings, this is actually a very, very valid advice. When the 6th house of health, because the 6th house is also connected to health, is ruled by a water sign, the first recommendation that I have for people is drink water. Flush out whatever is stagnant in your body. It could be a fantastic time for you, for instance, to maybe join a gym or decide to remove from your life any sort of toxic states, moods, and feelings that are linked in some shape or form with something that you do on a day-to-day basis, habitually. This can also be a great news piece of, well, this could be a great piece of news connected with your financial sector, my dear Aquarius. Maybe you are getting the opportunity to work on a new project. Again, something that seems to be connected either with your let's say, work that you do from home, or it could be an opportunity that comes to you through your family or through a member of the family. Pisces sun and Pisces risings. 9th, 10th of July, 3 days before, 3 days after, the new moon in Cancer is happening in your 5th house of entertainment, fun, children, and enjoyment. This new moon is sextiling Uranus and Taurus in the 3rd house and trining Neptune and Pisces in your 1st house of identity and the physical body. Pisces, this is a beautiful, beautiful new beginning for you in terms of love, in terms of your romantic relationship. I know some of you might be single, they might not be in a romantic relationship. To those of you who are single, I am telling you, this is a time for you to meet someone. It's a time for you to go out into the world. It's a time for you to celebrate who you are and present your authentic self to the world, and the world will love you back for it, and especially a romantic partner is very likely to be attracted to it. It is a fantastic time for you to think about your hobbies and passions and prioritize them, and some of you might actually be thinking of starting off some sort of course, because this new moon is sextiling Uranus and Taurus in the 3rd house. Some of you might be thinking of starting some sort of course where you teach others something that you're passionate about, or where you learn more about a topic that you enjoy doing just for the sake of it. This is a great time for you Pisces to start thinking and connecting with what brings you life, what brings you vitality, what brings you appreciation for the life that you are living, and do more of that. It could also be a time, I gotta tell you, for some Pisces, especially Pisces risings, when there could be some sort of sudden news, because Uranus is involved, connected with children in your life, some sort of positive development connected to the children in your life, maybe your children, maybe a sibling's child. Speaking of siblings, Uranus is indeed in your third house of siblings, so if you're not having a baby, if you've got siblings, one of your siblings might be having a baby, just so you know. You're feeling very happy and very content with your life, and you're also realizing, this is what I like to do, and I'm giving myself permission to do more of this because it re-energizes me. And that is your new moon update, my lovelies. Please keep me posted on how this new moon goes for you. You know, I really like to read your comments about how things are going. And even if I don't reply to all comments, obviously I'm also on vacation as we speak, I actually read them all. Don't forget, if you want to work with me, you can find me on writteninthestars-astrology.com. That's my website. And in the services section, you can book a consultation. You can book a reading with me, and we can do a deep dive into your natal chart, into your year ahead, into compatibility, if that is something that you are interested in. So that's where you can find me. You can also find me on Instagram at Rux Unbelievable. So that's RUX Unbelievable in one word. Thank you, and I will see you next time.